Like, I feel like you've maybe, I don't know if it's growing up per se in the industry and like being around adults and having that experience of like being a professional on set. Like it kind of just forces you to grow up.
I don't know what kind of trauma led me here.
God, okay.
What broke me enough to make me an adult right away? Just like that into the tip. Great. You guys, welcome back to another episode of After We Wrap.
Yeah. We are your hosts, Jaina Ortiz.
And I am Gabriella Ortiz. And we want to thank you so much for tuning in and for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And don't forget to become an after party VIP at our Patreon page, patreon.com/afterwewrapshow.
Yeah.
And as you can hear, Gabby's a little stuffy because I'm getting over a cold. So I'm not going to be doing a lot of talking today. And we also have an amazing guest. So Jaina.
Well, thank you for that amazing housekeeping, Gabby.
I did it.
Drum roll, please. We are beyond thrilled to welcome our next guest, all the way from Medellin, Colombia, and a little bit Orlando, Florida, okay? You may recognize her from some of your favorite TV shows and films. The talented, charismatic, and lovely Isabella Gomez!
Oh my God, I gotta start every day here.
Welcome. How are you?
Happy to be here. Happy to be in
We
community.
are happy to have you. Now, before we get started, we just want to clarify that since we are in the middle of a strike, we won't be able to discuss or promote projects. However, it brings us back to the core of this podcast, right? After we wrap, after the cameras stop rolling, after you come home from a 10-hour day in, your character's hair, makeup, and wardrobe, after you leave your trailer, who are you, right? Who is Isabella Gomez? And as actors, I think this is an extra special time because we get to explore who we are without the industry, without the business.
Yeah.
And that's kind of scary.
It's the worst.
It becomes your entire life.
Oh my God, yeah. Like it's like that thing of like, you say, I am an actor, and that's what defines you and like what you stand for. And especially like when you are working often, you're like, oh, I'm a working actor and that's what I do. And then work stops and you're like,
What?
oh,
What?
who? Okay.
What else? Like, that's it?
Or when you go to auditions and they're like, what are your hobbies? And you're like,
I don't have any.
Yeah.
Or do I?
Yeah, exactly. It's,
Which I hate that question, by the way.
hate that question.
It's one of those things. So, this goes to show that we are so much more than what we do for work, than our profession. So let's just, take us through the very beginning, the inception of Isabella Gomez growing up. Like, tell us.
how I grew up.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was born in Medellin, Colombia. I'm an only child.
What? Wait, hold up. This can't be.
Why?
It's so rare. I'm an only child. She's an only child.
It's the best.
You're an only child. It's the best. And then it's so not like common for a Latino family.
I
too.
know.
Everyone looks at us like, what? You don't have brothers and sisters?
My dad wanted 5 girls. My mom was a teen mom. She got pregnant at 18, had me at 19. Wow. And then after that, they were like, oh, that's enough for them.
Yeah.
That's good. That would just
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Did you want a brother and sister
No.
growing up? Same.
No. I wanted an older brother because all the movies had older brothers.
Yes, and they can protect you.
Yes.
Oh my God.
But I was like, there's no way to get that, so I guess I'm good.
And then, when people say, oh, you're an only child, you're spoiled. Like, there's no one else to spoil. So no, I'm not really spoiled, but okay.
I also just think that a lot of people tell me that I don't act like an only child, which I guess is a compliment, but it's just different vibes. It's different perspectives on life.
Is there a way to act when you're an only child?
I guess people say like if you're very like stuck up and very like self-centered and whatever. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I could see that.
That makes
Okay,
sense.
so you grew up in
Colombia. I was there till I was 10. And I started acting there. I was 6 when I started doing things.
So wait, was your first language Spanish?
Yeah. I didn't learn English till I was 10.
Wow.
Yeah. So there are certain words that like donkey.
Donkey. Oh, donkey.
Donkey. Like I have to.
Donkey.
Or
Interesting.
Carburetor.
I love that. Well, wait, your English accent is very it's not generic. What's the word?
Neutral?
Neutral. Thank you. It's very neutral.
Thank
like
you.
there's no
if you looked at my Wikipedia page, it says that I took classes to get rid of my accent.
Yeah.
I did not.
I was gonna say,
I didn't do that.
Jaina, scratch that from the.
I actually had that. I was like, she moderated her accent, when she moved to the States at 10.
I don't know where they got that from. It also for a while said I had siblings. But no,
funny.
you should hear me when I come back from Colombia.
You're like
Oh my
the
gosh.
queen of Colombia.
I mean, I just talk like this, and it's like, how do you even know what to say? I can't.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude.
It
So you could
happens to
totally
me
do the
too.
Sofia Vergara.
Yeah. Yeah. And I
love
had to
that.
learn how to do broken English. It's so funny because at first it was always like, you have to have like a perfect accent so that you can work. And then everybody was like, oh, you're Latina, so can you do broken English in this in this thing? And I'm like,
Yeah.
and I didn't know how. So I would have my mom, I would have her record all my lines and then I would repeat it with her accent over and over until I learned.
That's not a bad idea. I should do that with my mom.
There you go.
So, okay, moving to the States at 10, were you intimidated by the language, the culture? Like, how was that? Was it shocking for you to?
We moved to Orlando, Florida. So a lot of Latinos, like it's little Puerto Rico. So like it didn't feel like culture shock in that way. I was so young that I kind of didn't really understand all of it. And my family and I were best friends, the three of us. And we were such a unit that it just felt like, okay, like we're doing this thing next. But I do remember in Orlando, you could have put me in like a Spanish and English school or just an English one. And they threw me into the English one. And I sobbed hysterically when they dropped me off. But I learned English in like 3 months. Kid brains are like sponges.
Yeah.
It just.
I love that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you're fluent in Spanish. You could just like,
yeah.
I
My
mean,
dad won't respond to me if I talk to him in English.
wow.
Yeah. Because when I got here, I started only speaking in English to learn it.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't speaking Spanish anymore. I didn't want to. And my dad was like, no, absolutely not. So to this day, if I'm talking in English, he's like, what?
I love that though. I love
I
that.
do too.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
It's funny because as light-skinned Latinas, we're seen as white passing. And so I love that moment that like, what's that movie?
You can't say
can't
it.
say it. But
What's it about?
but like, do you know when you're amongst Latinos and they're like, mira esa, like this white girl, this
Yeah.
gringa who, and they'll start speaking in Spanish and then you whip up
Yeah.
with your Spanish like
Well, it's funny because most people did not even think that I was Latina when I moved here. It wasn't until a show I was on where I was very Latina that people were like, oh my God. But before that, people thought I was from here. And so nobody even had the thought of like, oh, she's white passing or anything like that. And then after, once they realized, and I speak Spanish perfectly, it's my first language, then people are like, oh, then what? I don't fit ni de aquí ni de allá. I don't fit any box that they want me to go into. So I'm like, okay.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you say that acting is something you've always dreamed of doing?
Yeah, it is.
Wow.
It's so funny. I started when I was 6.
I did not know this, by the way.
Dude, it's so bizarre. I never really knew how it happened either, by the way. And in the last few years, because everybody asked, like, how did you start? I was talking to my parents, and apparently, so my mom had a best friend in the industry in Colombia, and they were doing a commercial, and they couldn't find the girl. They needed a 6-year-old girl. And I've always had a big personality and been very precocious and like just loud and whatever. And so he was like, well, you just bring her in. And apparently after that, that's history. Like I just was like, oh my God, like this is it. And it's the only thing I've ever wanted to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you weren't an actor, if you weren't acting, what would your like not backup, but
Yeah.
if you could do anything else except acting, what would it be?
I was going to go to law school. My dad's a lawyer and I'm obsessed with true crime. So I wanted to go into criminal justice.
Yeah.
Shoot.
I was in high school and it was my junior year and I was like, okay, if I don't book a big thing that makes it seem like I'm going to be an actor, then I will just go to college and after that, see if I pick it back up or not. And I was looking into law school. I was looking into all of that.
What?
And then I booked.
That
You
show.
watch
show.
that show on the
Oh my
TV
gosh.
screen. Yeah. You are. Why am I?
You're
doing this?
blanking?
Yeah. No, I'm not blanking.
Oh.
I'm just like. Okay, I'll just say it. Fine. You are. I'm doing a Gabby. You are very young, but you have such a mature, like, old soul. Like, I feel like you've maybe, I don't know if it's growing up per se in the industry, and like being around adults and having that experience of like being a professional on set. Like it kind of just forces you to grow up.
I don't know what kind of trauma led me here.
Okay.
What broke me enough to make me an adult right away? No, I think partially I was kind of born this way. Like, my parents would joke that I would be 5 years old and I would sit down with all the ladies and be like, bueno, muchachas, entonces vamos a hablar, que me cuentan, que hay de chisme. Like, I was like in. I also have never liked people my age. I'm very nervous around them. I don't like it. And so my friends, like, most of my friends are in their 30s. Like, I just don't.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But then also I did start working really young. I was very lucky that I wasn't a series regular till I was 18, and I'm really grateful for that.
Wow.
But I started working when I was 6 and more consistently when I was 15.
Wow.
And so I was on set and I was doing the thing. And also I think there's a feeling when you're an immigrant that you're just like, I was so cognizant that this wasn't quote unquote my country and that I needed to deserve to be here, and that like my parents are very open with me and were very open through like getting our papers and all of that, and like I went to like the what do you call them, the interviews and all of that, and I was so cognizant of what a big deal it was that I think it just from a very early age I was like, okay, we're gonna be
It
the best citizens we can be.
It forced you to grow very
Yeah.
young. Yeah.
And also my mother was 19 when she had me. So
same. I would say too,
Yeah.
my parents had me super young, only child. There's no other kids to play with and hang out with on a daily basis. So you're with your parents' friends and you're just around adults a lot. So you just there's this sense of like, okay, I'm just gonna grow up, I guess. And I don't know. And now I guess that I'm in my 30s, I want my inner child to come out because I'm like, I didn't get to have as much.
do it.
Fun. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm working on it. I'm working on it. I'm like,
I feel like you're very playful.
I support that.
in the spirit.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just get. Do you have anything that you wanted?
Oh
to
my God.
add
I
to
mean,
it?
I feel so connected to your story too, because like I moved to a different country too at 10. I had to learn a new language. To this day, I can't say the word decision, right? So I understand when you're having decision.
Yeah.
And I was on set. I was like doing
that's
a
always what
commercial,
happens.
and the producer was like, "You're not saying this word right." And I'm like, "Decision?" And I was like, "All right, can I say to we decided?" Like I had to like take control. I was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Mira, yo hablo español." Like you know. So I relate. I relate to your story so much that I'm just in awe with everything that you have accomplished.
So proud of you and really impressed by your determination, your
tenacity.
What is this called? Your
Poise.
grace, your poise. Thank you. Yes, I always notice that too.
I mean, I think a lot of it too is just it comes from I'm so cognizant. Cognizant is the word
of the
episode.
day.
That should be the name of
Take
the
a shot
episode.
every time I say cognizant.
Yeah.
That and my dad and I had a lot of conversations about this while I was growing up because I was booking a lot of my friends weren't. And I was like, I'm just really lucky. And he was like, no, you're working really hard. And I think I've gotten to this place where I know it's both. I've been hustling. I always say if I'm not on set, I'm in acting class. Like I'm very focused on my craft, but also I'm one of the lucky ones. Like I have so many friends who are so talented, who are so ready, who are so prepared that don't get the opportunities or haven't been in the right place, right time. And so anytime, like every single job, I'm like, I can't believe I'm still doing this.
Yeah.
Okay. And every single job, I'm like, this is the last one.
Yeah.
I'm never going to work again after this. I know it.
Oh, you'll be working forever, girl. You
I
will.
hope so.
I do have actually now I remember. Could you take us through the process of that show?
Yes.
And meeting the one and only Rita Moreno, which I mean,
You know what's funny is I didn't really know who she was.
Wow.
Yeah, me neither. It was. I mean, I did,
Yeah.
but I didn't understand what she meant in the industry.
I didn't understand what she meant. I didn't understand what she's done for our community, and I also hadn't seen a lot of her since she was younger.
Yeah.
And so we walked in when I first met her, and I knew she was in her 80s, and I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be like a little old lady, viejita. I'm gonna go and like be very quiet and like make sure that I'm respectful. No.
She was just like,
No.
I love that.
She is just the biggest firecracker you'll ever meet. But it was rad. The whole experience was so rad because that show is a family. Like we still all text, we talk all the time, we see each other all the time. Todd Grinnell and I just shot a short outside of Jaina's house.
Oh my gosh.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
One day,
That's
Todd
funny.
was across the street. And
Just all day.
yeah, all day. We were like, "What are you doing, man?" And Jay was telling me, "Oh, they're shooting a short film for the weekend." And then the next day, Isabella's there in a cute little outfit. It was the most adorable thing. I won't give it away because I don't want to ruin it, spoil anything. But yeah, and of course that weekend we happened to have been. I was like going in and out of the driveway and kind of.
It was nice. We
Messing up
had
their
like
shots.
it was like
Messing up
show
their
night
shot.
all the time. Like we just had friends around. It was nice.
Oh my
But
goodness.
all to say that we're very close, and so
I love
the
that.
whole thing. And Marcel and I always said, like, people always ask us about Rita. And to us, it's very funny because we're like, yeah, we understand she's an icon, but Rita's just our grandma.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I love
It's
that.
she's just someone we worked. Like, it doesn't. We
Yeah.
don't see her as the icon. We see her as the person, which is really cool.
And I actually thought you were related to Gloria.
really,
I really
she's gonna love
for
that.
a long time. I was like, is that has to be her niece or something?
I mean, I call her Thea, and I call
Yeah.
Justina mom.
She's Thea Glow.
yeah, Thea Glow. I sleep over at her house. Like
I love that.
it's very unlike the industry, which really, really spoiled me. Getting out of that show was hard.
I was just going to
bet.
say, there's nothing more special than your first show, especially when you're a series regular and you build this family. There's something so special about it because I just reunited with some of the actors from Rosewood. And I left home from that lunch crying because there's nothing, there will never be a show or a family, that kind of dynamic that is that special.
Yeah.
It's something about it. And it spoils you because if it's great and the vibes are and everyone's getting along and you truly feel like a family, it's rare to get that.
It's
very
so
rare.
rare. I had no idea. While we were shooting, everybody was like, you're spoiled.
Yeah, because
you have
Justina
no
Machado
idea.
too, like
Oh my God. And Justina truly became, like, she's my mother. Like, I love that woman so much, and she took me under her wing in such a way. And I didn't know that people were being serious in the sense of, like, it was my first series reg. So I was like, yeah, everybody says that, but like, how do you go to make a TV show and not be so excited every day? And Gloria has this thing where, like, she'll just go, we're making a TV show.
I love that.
And so her and I would just do that every day and would be like, oh my God, like, we're living the
It's
dream that
happening.
everybody
Yes.
wants to do. And then you get onto other sets and they're not like
but
that.
you know why?
Yeah.
You know why?
Because there was a bunch of Latinos.
Come on, let's be real.
Let's be real.
You don't have to be related to form
Yeah.
that one. It's like when you see your community, you instantly gravitate and you become glue. It's like we're stuck.
Yeah.
We're
But
here
that's
together.
how we are also. That's in
Yeah.
our DNA to be that way, very welcoming, very
Yeah.
family oriented.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about, the good old hobby question. What do you do?
Wait, so can we actually like write down all these hobbies so that way whenever we get that question, like 1 second.
Hold on.
Which one did I not use? Oh, I like to climb trees.
Rock climbing intermediate.
Walk us through all of the extra hobbies you had listed on your resume.
Can I
Do you
tell
remember?
you
Do you remember that time?
that was the bane of my existence? To this day, I literally the other day was like, I should update that. I do some other stuff now. But I was always a very type A student, and I got 1 B in all of high school, and I still talk about it. Like, that's where
Really?
I cried. It was like, nope. It ruined my my 4.0
I can relate
GPA.
to that. I
and
can
it,
relate.
Not
So-
me. I was a C student and I was happy. I was like, did I pass?
That's
great,
passing,
great,
baby.
Great.
That's passing. No, I was the kind that was like, it's like a 95 and above or bust. Like,
you're a perfectionist, huh?
Perfectionist. And so I was acting. And so I didn't have time to do other things. I also am a very chill person. I really like to just do nothing. I love a nothing day.
It's great.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't understand how people are just up and at it all day, every day. Please let me say.
What's your ideal like weekend look like?
Funny. I like to catch up on work during the weekend. Like Sundays, I do all my work.
Huh.
I feel a lot of pressure to reply to emails during the week when people might reply right back. I don't have the bandwidth. I need you to not reply right away.
I can relate. I relate to that.
I left you on red for like 2 days. I was like, I'll reply during the weekend when I'm catching up.
Amazing. Oh my gosh.
But no, I don't have like weeks don't work that way in my head, especially when I'm not on set. I've never had a quote unquote regular job, not because of me. I wanted one when I was 16 and my parents said no. So
my mom did the same. She was like, tú no vas a trabajar. Disfruta de tu niñez.
Sí,
That's what she would
disfruta,
say.
tú nada más
Yeah.
lo que necesitas. And I was like,
I'm like, okay.
I was like, wait, but I feel like I need this experience.
Yeah.
Yes. So
No.
you never had.
I've only ever
like,
acted.
You never had to clock in.
No.
You never got.
No. And it was cutesy when I was younger, but now it's like I feel truly very disconnected from a lot of people where I'm like, it's that, can we curse?
Yeah.
Okay, great. I just feel like such an asshole a lot of the time because there are certain things that I just cannot relate to, and it's not me trying to be like,
Right.
I'm an actor. I don't know. It's like, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean you have to clock in? Why can't you just tell your manager to fuck off? I don't understand.
I'm sure everyone wishes they could. I can do that once in a while.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
yeah. What
That's
was
so
I talking
interesting.
about?
I know we were talking
was in
about
the
the
middle of
weekend,
hobbies.
what you would do.
So I don't, my weeks aren't structured that way. And I actually had a really hard time for a long time because my life revolved around whether I was on set or not. And I became a series reg pretty early. And then we were on that show for a while. And then after that, I booked pretty quickly. And then I had 9 months, which I know is not a lot. And it's one of those things that makes me sound like an asshole, where I didn't book anything. And it was, I like couldn't figure out who I was. I had no, I was so inquieta. I was so anxious. I had no idea what to do with my time, had nothing that was mine because I was always either in a class or working on something or going to set or resting from being on set. And this was just like the first time that I had free time. I wasn't in school. I wasn't doing anything. And so I was just sitting, and it was really, really hard for me. And my acting coach was like, you have to find a hobby. You have to find something that like,
that brings
you joy, that like fills your soul up so you can bring that into your work.
Yes.
And I resisted it for a really long time. I don't think I ever understood what a hobby was until last year, by the way. I started rock climbing and like fell madly in love with it and would just like watch climbing videos 24/7 and was at the gym 6 hours a day and like
Wait,
was just
indoor or outdoor?
Indoor. I've been outdoor, but only once.
Yeah.
Mostly indoor. But I was obsessed and I was like, is this what people mean?
By a hobby?
I was like, what?
But I can understand
I've never
that.
felt this way about anything. So it was really hard. It was really, really hard. And now I don't rock climb as much. I actually just paused my membership. But I adopted cats. I adopted cats. We started fostering. So we fostered for a while. We fostered dogs and then cats. And I work out a lot. I started Pilates.
Yes.
A lot. I
My
love
God,
the
that shit
Pilates.
hurts.
Honestly, Pilates is one of those workouts where it looks easy, but
It looks
is
so
the
easy.
hardest. And then you can't walk the next day.
It's so humbling. I was at class this morning and I was like, I hate my life. If I have to do one more pike, I'm going to lose my mind.
Wait, you said this morning, what time did you wake up?
7:45 was
Ay,
our
Dios
class.
mío.
I know.
Wait, ooh,
I know.
girl,
I know.
you know what?
I
Good
know.
for you. Good.
Look, how do I get there, Jaina? How do I do this?
This is
I
a
wanna
new
do
thing.
that.
Here's how. We started fostering a 6-week-old puppy who we had to take out every 2 hours during the night And then he would, like at 7, he would be up for the day and you have to watch them or they lose their minds or tear everything up. And so that's how I started waking up earlier, because I was a sleep till 3 p.m. kind of girl my whole life. I did not understand the like morning people situation. And now
you're and now you're the morning person.
It's just so much time.
Yeah.
When you wake
You
up
can
that
get
early.
so much done.
So much time.
Yes.
And I love working out in the morning. And usually with our job, if you're going to work out in the morning, then you got to be up early.
Yes.
I still have not figured out how to keep working out. Well,
I know.
working.
No, that's
no.
crazy. But look, not before 9 a.m. You're done with your workout and
Incredible.
boom.
Done.
Even to
Ready
say
for
that,
your
that's
day.
just like a...
It just gives you so many endorphins. And like, you're just like, I'm accomplished. Like, even if I did nothing else today, I woke up early and I worked out.
I did it one time. I think I texted you. I was like, I'm at the gym. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. What is happening?
She did. She was like, you'd be so proud of me.
You'll be so proud of me. Yeah.
It's a different crowd too. You're like, who are these people?
That's so true. It is a different crowd. Yeah.
Are these people?
It's weird.
It's great. No, it's great.
Okay, time out real quick. Is there something interfering with your happiness or preventing you from achieving your goals? Regardless if you have clinical mental health issues like depression or anxiety, or you're just a human living in this crazy world and you're going through a hard time, therapy can give you the tools that you need to approach your life in a very different way. And that's why I'm very excited to tell you about today's sponsor, BetterHelp. BetterHelp's mission is to make therapy affordable and accessible. And this is a very important mission because finding a therapist can be really hard, especially if you're limited to your options in your area. BetterHelp is a platform that makes it easier to find a therapist because it's online, it's remote, and by filling out a few questions, BetterHelp will match you with a professional therapist in just as little as a few days. It is so easy to sign up and match with a professional therapist. There's a link in the description of this episode. It's betterhelp.com/afterwewrap. Clicking that link helps support After We Wrap. And you also get 10% off on your first month with BetterHelp, so you can connect with your therapist and see if it helps you. Finding a therapist is a little bit like dating. So if you don't fit with that therapist, which is a common thing in therapy, you can easily switch to a therapist for free without stressing about insurance, who's in your network, or anything like that. I personally started using BetterHelp during the pandemic because, to say the least, like many, I needed someone to talk to. And I had never talked to a therapist before, and I'm so happy I did because I realized how much I needed it. So I really, really look forward to that weekly meeting. If you are struggling, please consider online therapy with BetterHelp. Click the link in the description or visit the website betterhelp.com/afterwewrap. Thank you again, BetterHelp, for supporting this podcast.
Self-care should be, it's to me, it's a hobby.
Yes.
Taking care of yourself and
Yes.
And it takes time to take care of yourself too.
It takes so much time.
I'm like something as simple as like, I don't know, let's just say wash my hair. I mean, that was a bad example. But even the other day, I'm like, why has it taken an hour and a half to do my skin routine? Oh, because it's self-care. It's self-love. Okay. I don't have to feel bad about this. I'm doing this for myself.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's like, estás perdiendo tiempo. You could be doing something better. And it's, I'm taking care of myself.
And it's that thing too about, I read somewhere, so it's probably a TikTok or something if I'm saying I read somewhere. I don't read articles. That a quote about how the more you heal, the less ambitious you become, and how ambition a lot of times is just actually a trauma response. And it's very much like this capitalist world, and it's just like being like, oh, my worth comes from my productivity and my sense of self and my how I fit into my culture and my community is all based on what do I do, not who am I. And I find this last year or so that's become such a thing for me where I'm like, I don't have the drive that I used to, not in a bad way, in the sense of, I think our industry can be very what's your next project? What awards are you winning? Yes. What, like, very that focused. And I think I've watched it take the joy out of so many people's careers who otherwise I think are living their dream, except they just haven't gotten an Emmy or an Oscar. And I'm like, I don't want to be that. I never want my dream to become something that makes me upset. And so I've kind of let go of that and let go of that, like that instinct when you get a project and you're like, but this isn't the best producers and this isn't like, who's going to watch this and what, and just been like, would I have fun shooting it?
Yes.
Would I have fun shooting that? And if it's a yes, great. Shoot it.
Hell yeah.
And so it's that kind of feeling where you're like, oh, you can just like do things for you.
The pressure's off.
Yeah. Like this is your life and you get to just do whatever you want to do. And it's
That's beautiful.
Yes.
I love that. It's the question of, instead of what are you doing, it's how are you healing? I love that.
Yeah.
Oh
Love
my
that too.
gosh, look at you. Look at you.
I've been in therapy for a very long time.
When did you
needed it.
start?
Yay, therapy.
What? Because I started therapy at 35 and I said to myself,
35?
why did it
old
take
are
so
you?
long?
You
my
look
God, thank you.
28.
Oh my gosh, I love you.
I will
I
fight
don't know why
you.
I'm pulling it back.
I know.
Well, I think I know why. It's because you sag, right? So you just want to pull, but
Your skin is perfect.
gosh,
I will
thank
I
end
tell
you.
her that all the time.
Are you also in your late
I'm
30s?
35, yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
well, you're a little younger than
I'm
me.
1
no?
year younger, but
You
I'm
guys.
turning 36 in September. Wait, what year were you born?
86.
87.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good job.
95, 96,
98.
98.
98.
98.
Dude, 98.
98. I know I'm a baby.
Those were the times.
Those were the
Remember,
days.
like when 2000 came, everyone thought the world was about to end.
Mine was 2012. 2012 was when it was going to end the Mayan
Really?
calendar or
Oh,
something.
shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, we were all in school waiting for it to be over.
Were you here in Orlando?
I was in Orlando.
Okay.
Oh my
Like, all right,
gosh.
any second now.
Hilarious. Oh my goodness.
But I started therapy when I was 21.
Oh, that's
Wow.
great. I
Yeah.
started acting when I was 21,
Really?
like taking classes.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You were a dancer, huh?
I was a dancer. Actually, she was a dancer too. Yeah.
Heck
Little
yeah.
dancing. Do you dance? Well,
I wish.
did you know? I've seen you.
No.
Oh, speaking of dancing, I saw a thing of Sofia Vergara saying that the salsa in Colombia is very much in the shoulders.
I don't know.
Is that a thing?
I don't know how to dance any of the typical anything. Like I grew up in Orlando with Puerto
True,
Ricans. We
yeah.
were just throwing our
Yeah.
ass back. And like,
You were with a
Twerking.
perreo
we were
and daddy
13 in
Yankee.
somebody's basement, like, tra.
Yeah.
Gosh,
That's it.
So true.
Yeah.
So
That's
true.
it. So I also can't pick up choreography to save my life, which by the way, for a while in my special skills, it said can pick up choreography.
That's hilarious.
No.
There was always a little bit of a little like white lie in there thrown
Always.
in.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you just have to stretch.
I'd be
the
like,
truth.
can swim, likes animals. What else do I say? No.
I know every sport imaginable. Do you cook?
I do now a little more. I booked a movie where I was playing a chef, and I was like, well, that's tough because I don't know how to hold a knife. Turns out we didn't shoot any scenes of me cooking, so
But
whatever.
you were like, great, now it's actually time.
yeah,
to,
I started getting HelloFresh and whatever. And I was like, that's easy, right? Everybody has that. And now I
where
like
you
it.
make your
You make your own
base and all
food.
that.
I also lived at home till I was 24. And so
Oh.
I didn't cook. My dad
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah.
He took care of that. And so I'm learning. I'm in a learning season.
What's your favorite dish
to
from back
cook,
home? Sorry, what's your favorite dish to eat that
to eat?
reminds you of home?
I will get off the plane in Colombia and immediately go get a bandeja paisa. Doesn't matter what time it is.
Ooh, what is that? I've never heard of that.
It's rice, beans, carne molida, an egg, chicharrón,
Yep.
avocado, meat. Some of them have potatoes. I want to say that's it. It's this
It's a
big.
lot, but that sounds
It's
amazing.
amazing. It's life-changing, and it's all I ever want to eat. So I would say that one. Or pasta,
Oh yeah.
but that's not from
yeah.
Colombia.
Do you drink coffee?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay, so I have to say, no shade on Colombia, but I did.
Don't you dare.
I was like,
Don't
oh
you
my gosh,
dare.
I'm about to drink the best coffee of my life in the world. I was like, why does it taste bitter?
Oh yeah, they don't play.
What is that?
I loved
is that
it.
the
I
way
love
it's supposed
Colombian
to
I don't
taste?
drink coffee the way Colombians drink coffee.
You don't?
No, I like creamer with coffee.
Same.
Okay.
I want it to be a milkshake.
Yeah.
I don't
Sweet.
like. I don't understand why people drink black coffee. Like, do you hate yourself?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you?
and none of that. So I get it. I don't drink coffee like that either. Or un tintico, como dicen allá. Un tintico, and it's just like a little cup of black coffee. No.
Interesting. So interesting.
But it wakes you up. When I have Colombian coffee and I do my lechecita, but almond milk, dairy free. And I'm like, woo, I'm awake. Hell yeah, let's get to it. I don't know why. Colombian
Not
coffee
I.
has something.
My parents will have their last coffee at 8 p.m.
Oh, no.
Wow.
I can drink coffee anytime. It doesn't.
Wow.
No. Yeah.
Interesting.
I've started on pre-workout now because
yeah.
I'm like, I'm upgrading.
What's your favorite pre-workout?
Alani Nu.
Ooh.
Alani Nu has the best pre-workout because it all just tastes like candy. It's very sweet, so a lot of people don't like that. But it also has like B12 and it's vegan and it's like
Ooh.
it's 200 milligrams of caffeine in a scoop, and it feels like you're going to rip your skin off.
Do you get the tingly
Yeah.
tingly feelings?
Yeah, it's the best. Like,
Yes.
let's climb Everest.
Yes. I love that. Okay. I have to try it.
It's great.
Question.
Yes.
What would you say is the most challenging thing about living in LA?
It's a really lonely city. I think it's very hard to make friends here, or at least in our industry.
Yeah.
I think my experience, at least, has been that it's either people only want to know you if they can gain something from you, or they don't like you because you got to where they want to be. And it all feels very transactional and surface level. I have this thing. I have my therapist would say I have very little tact.
Your comedy is so fucking good. I can't. I'm learning so much right now.
I thought I was a dramatic actor only, by the way.
No, girl, you
I
are
think we all
funny.
think that.
You are
We all do.
funny.
Because I'm like,
cry.
yeah. And
then I
Shane's
booked a
like,
sitcom.
no. My husband's like, no, you're funny. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm a
And
dramatic
they're like,
actor.
"You're
He's like,
funny."
no.
And I was like,
I'm like,
I
okay,
love it.
fine.
I'm serious.
I'm here for
Which,
it.
by the way, I think comedy is so much harder than
It is.
drama.
Oh,
It
for
is.
sure,
But,
for sure.
whatever.
But like,
I don't have a lot of tact, and so I don't. LA likes to play a game, and I don't do well with games. I like to tell you exactly how I feel, and so I do this thing when I meet people when they're like, "Oh my god, like let's get coffee soon, let's do lunch." I'll literally go, "Do you mean that or the Hollywood way, where we're not actually going to?"
ooh,
I say it every time, and then usually we'll end up getting lunch because they're like, "Oh,
so true. Put them on the spot. Make them. Yes, it's so true.
But I don't mind it if it's the Hollywood way. Like if we're just gonna see each other at events and be like, "Oh my god, I love you so much. I'll see you soon," and then do the same thing next time. Cool, but just let me know because
Right.
I can't do many things in one day, like I said. And so if we're gonna hang out, I need to plan.
Yeah.
For when, and I need to emotionally prepare my brain for being outside of my house.
Ooh, I felt that. Yep.
Dude,
It's so true.
It's such
hard.
a homebody. Yeah.
I'm
So
such a
true.
homebody. But by the way, I'm on meds and I just recently got mine upped, and maybe I was just depressed because I can go outside now. So
I love you so much.
okay.
Oh my gosh.
So maybe try 40 milligrams of Prozac.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh.
But
it's so
I'm
true.
so bad at that. It's like, yeah, well, like I have this one friend, gosh, and she's like, we need to have lunch, and I've already canceled on her twice. I feel so bad, and she stopped texting me because it's like I'll cancel because I'm not feeling like going out.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling like, oh, I need to be social. I need to talk to somebody. But then, you know what happens?
You get
when
FOMO.
when that person either calls you on the phone or you do go out.
Yeah.
You have the best fucking time. You're like, why did I wait so long to do this? It's so good for me, and I get to see a friend, and I need to get better at that. And
It's self-care. My psychiatrist, we love mental health, everybody. Was literally like, we are a community species. Like you can't this idea of individualism that we have in this country and of like, I'm just gonna do me and I don't need anybody and like I'm a homebody and I like to stay, like it does not work with our brain. Our brains have not evolved to that yet. And so once you start lacking connection is when you start getting sad and all of that, which is why then you want to retrieve even more.
So true.
So part of my self-care is I have to go
section
so
right here.
much
Yeah.
right now. Yes. Sorry, we're talking over each other. The one thing Shane told us not to do is just to be careful talking over each other. And Gabby and I are like, like anyway. But no, it's so true to what you're saying. I mean, there's that Hollywood thing where it's like you're just saying it, but you don't really mean it. But then there's also life. Like as much as you want to commit to a plan, it just things happen. But then also I do love when that person follows through and they actually like come through.
Yeah.
And you really want to get some lunch. You really want to go on a hike and you actually take the time to meet up and do it. Love that.
It's nice.
Appreciate that.
Do you guys get this? I sometimes get nervous about hanging out with people in the industry because I'm like, I have a feeling like I have to be on because I'm like, well, you never know who anybody's going to be or who's going to talk to who. And so that's a big part of mine when it comes to industry people where it's like, if I'm not feeling like I can be my best self and then a director then asks this person, do you know this girl? What do you think of her? And I went to lunch feeling shitty and I was just sitting there being like, and then they're like, she sucks, don't hire her. That's how my brain works.
No. I've had those thoughts too. Yeah.
It might not be real, by the way. My dad said I had a complex where I always thought I was going to get blacklisted. And it's true. I'm always like, I'm going to get fired.
Oh my gosh.
Second now. But
that's interesting. I don't feel that. I mean, I'm not careful, but I can now, after 5-6 years of working consistently, sort of filter out who has an agenda. And that was really hard because I'm such a nice person and I want everyone to get along and I want everyone to be friends. And sometimes it doesn't really work that way. But I tend to just, my default is I'm going to be me and real, regardless of who's like with me and if they're judging or if they're connected to a person in the industry. Like it's me. If there's too much pressure to be on, also that's exhausting.
It's exhausting.
And I have to feel like I have to just listen to my body. And if I'm not, if I'm having a day, I'm having a day. And I don't think that depicts how I work as a professional.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I separate.
That's healthy.
I do a great job.
I like that.
Not a great job.
You do. No, but
I think I do an okay job at like separating. Okay, if this is work, this is work. But if we're friends catching up and connecting, then that's what it is.
Yeah.
But it is hard, especially like I can understand you growing up in the industry. You're constantly around those people who you're depending on everyone to give you an opportunity. So
and I've found that these last 5 years have been a lot of growth. I'm done learning shit, but the universe keeps being like,
honestly,
never stop learning.
You're at such an advanced level because I feel like when I was your age, I wasn't even aware of all the things that you're aware of.
How old are you? I'm sorry.
I'm 25.
Oh, that was the year.
What I'm saying.
That's the year I woke up and I said, we talked about this yesterday, my 25th birthday. I opened my eyes and I'm like, I am going to die. In the sense of like, I will.
You have to live your life.
Like one day, life will be over, and I didn't do anything. And that was my wake up call. And I said, all right, pack your bags. Let's go to. At that time, it was Atlanta because I was in Florida.
Yeah,
in Orlando.
But it's been a big year of figuring out finding myself, but truly in the sense of I started working so young and people always said like on set, I'm the easiest person you'll ever meet. I don't need to drink water. I don't need to eat. I don't need a break. I don't need anything. If I'm cold and people are running to get me a puffer jacket, I'm like, no, it's fine. And I've figured out and people were like, oh, you're so easy on set, and I was always like, that's a compliment. That's something I'm really proud of. And I've been learning how I abandon myself a lot for the idea of being the best professional I can be and for being the easiest one to work with and the most lovely, and so I was not even figuring out like who I was on set or what I needed or like my way of working instead of just like I was just like I'm easy, whatever works,
Sacrificing your
works.
own.
I don't give a whatever. And so then I didn't work for a while, and then the pandemic also happened, and I realized that my whole life I was 18 when I started the one show that we can't talk about, and I thought I knew everything, as you do when you're 18. And I thought I was just like the most eloquent, perfect, mature little princess. And so I would go and do interviews and do press and like say all kinds of stuff. And people were impressed by me. Like they were like, oh my God, you talk like a grown up. And so I was like, even more like, And it made me feel like I had to be that version of myself all of the time because that's who people liked. And that's who people appreciated. And that's what people needed from me. And so it was a combination of the pandemic and not working and being by myself for a lot of time where I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that I was doing a lot of things to mask parts of me to fit in best how I thought people wanted to perceive me in that situation. And so it's been a journey of being able to be my authentic self regardless of how people feel about me. And being like, hey, if you're not, I'm polarizing.
That's beautiful.
It is. It's very liberating. Because I also think that, I don't know if it's an actor thing or what, but being liked was a big deal for me. I really, really wanted to be liked. And I was popular in middle school. And then in high school, I was not. I barely had any friends. It was not a fun time. And that really shook me. And I think once I came into the industry, I was like, okay, I have to be well liked. That's how you keep people around. Wow. And growing up, I've been like, oh, you're just not, you don't have to be for everyone. Yes. And that's okay. Yes, it's not a reflection on me or who I am. It's not a reflection on them. There's just people, there's so many people who I'm like, they're a good person. I don't want to hang out with them at all.
Yeah.
So it's
kudos. That I mean, yes. Everything you just said.
In the most jumbled way possible.
No, this was like a full-on therapy session. It's okay.
Okay. All right. It's road rage happening outside.
That was, when we're on picketing and they're honking. That's like the
whole time.
Yeah.
I know.
Isabella, what's your dream role?
I have this weird thing where I don't think about the future a lot.
So don't ask her. She thinks 30 years ahead.
Really? Oh my God.
Listen, my tia was like, you have to plan 30 years from now. Where do you want to see yourself and go backwards?
But we plan and God laughs. What are we planning for?
So true.
So I don't think a lot about the future, and especially I think in theater you can have like dream roles, whereas in TV and film it feels a little more ambiguous. I really love trying new things. I thought I was a dramatic actor, and then I booked a sitcom, and I freaked out and was like, how do I do this? And then it was the most joyful experience of my life. And now I'm forever just calling my agents being like, can we get me on a sitcom? I'd love to just, that's where I want to be. And so that taught me to not say no to anything. I also always said I won't do paranormal anything. I'm not a horror movie girly. I love watching them, but I was like, I won't do it. Whenever the strike is over or we get a waiver or whatever's supposed to happen next, I'm shooting a horror. That's like that.
Yes!
With a team who I shot a thriller with a few years ago that I loved. And so I'm very open. I'm very nervous about period pieces and accents. Yeah. So I feel like I should do that at some point, but I don't know. I don't know how to do that.
Do you find difficulty in learning how to do a British accent?
I can't do any accents.
Same, yeah.
At all.
Same.
You probably can.
Are you kidding, Jaina? What are you talking about?
Don't even stop with me.
I cannot do an accent.
We hear your attempt at an accent.
What accent would you like?
The British.
So my dad lived in England for 6 months, and he'd be like, "Look over there. Would you like some water? Some water over there."
I brought some leftovers. I made some chicken parm last night. Mate, listen, I appreciate the way it sounds. I definitely need to work on it, but like it is the most. You could say anything to me. You could crisp me out in that accent, and you'll be like, love it.
Really?
Say it
Yes.
Doesn't do it for me.
Sort of.
It does.
I can kind of do Mexican, but everybody's gonna be like so offended, and this is maybe not it at all. But I can do. I know mames, güey. O sea, la neta. No, en serio, vamos a hablar de eso, güey. No creo que eso sea así, güey. When they talk like that, I die. I'm like,
ooh, yeah.
Do you ever watch shows, Mexican shows on
a streamer.
on a streamer?
Yeah.
And when they talk like that, I'm like this the whole time.
It's beautiful.
¿Qué es que yo quiero hablar así ahora?
O sea, es que yo quiero hablar así, güey. No sé por qué. O sea, suena demasiado lindo, güey.
But listen, we're not making fun of accents. We are appreciating and
I wish I
celebrating
could do
accents,
it.
wishing we could all speak all the accents.
Eventually, I'll have to get a dialect coach. I'm sure.
Yes.
Because
But period pieces are,
they're hard. They're freaky.
Yeah.
They freak me out. So I should do it.
Unless
at
it's
some
like a
point.
Spaniard, a Spaniard type of show, like Princess Isabella, for example, la Isabella, la princesa Isabella.
Yeah.
That type. Okay, I feel like that's part of like, your culture-ish kind of connects to that. I would do that, but like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
Really quick before we wrap up, any bucket list travel? Travel.
I'm dying to go to Greece. I had a trip to Greece booked in 2020, and then here we are. So I've started setting these interesting goals for myself. I was supposed to hike Mount Whitney this summer, but we had one of the worst winters ever. And so you basically needed all of the same equipment that you would need for like Everest, except like the oxygen. And I was like, I'm not going to go die on this mountain. So I couldn't do it this year, but we trained for it. We were like doing the whole thing, like doing 15-mile hikes on the weekend for funsies. So I would like to hike Mount Whitney, hopefully next year.
What?
I want to go to Greece. And I want to take a Latin dance class.
Ooh.
All the dance classes I know. All the
teacher
dance
right
classes
here.
I've taken here is hip hop. I can't dance.
What kind of
hip-hop.
Latin dance?
Anything. I just feel like maybe my hips would be more in tune with that than hip hop.
I could, Stephanie Stevenson up in North Hollywood, Burbank area. She has her own dance studio. But I mean,
Send me that
samba.
contact.
Yeah, samba,
Or
salsa.
I
Yes,
love it.
yes. Oh, yes. I could totally
You put
see
videos of you dancing all the time. I'm like, how does this happen?
I need to do more.
I took one class
Oh, yeah.
at Stephanie's.
Did you like it?
I could feel, what's the thing that you have in here? No, in there, los riñones.
Ribs?
¿Cómo es que se llama?
Your kidneys?
Your kidneys, thank you. I could
What
feel
happened
them.
to your kidneys?
I was like, I feel my kidneys. Oh my God, how do they, that hurt. Like the whole time I'm like staring at her and I'm trying to do the whole
I don't
thing
think
that
I've
she does.
Ever felt my kidney?
No, me either.
Well, in the sense of like, I felt
You
like
felt the
everything
organs.
moving. I
Yeah.
felt all my organs
funny.
moving.
So funny.
Now we're just on the lookout for her kidneys. Like,
I know, right?
And the kidneys are
I
back
do
here.
feel my, when you're ovulating and the ovaries.
I can
Yeah.
always tell which one I'm ovulating from. It's ridiculous.
It's
I hate it.
yeah. It's like it's
a
painful
very
to walk
painful-
too. So yeah, that's a whole nother.
That's
But
another episode.
well, since you don't plan ahead,
Mhm.
one of my questions was, where do you see yourself in 5 years? But instead of 5 years, maybe where do you see yourself in the next year?
Sure. I mean, ideally in 5 years, I did have a plan for one thing, which
Yeah?
is so divorce is my worst nightmare. My first breakup rocked me to my core in such a way. That's when I got into therapy. I lost my mind. And so I was like, I think a divorce would kill me. And so I know a lot about statistics now about marriages. And if you are with somebody for 4 to 5 years before you get married, it's more likely to last. And if you get married sometime between, I think it's 28 and 32, it's more likely to last. So I was like, I would like to meet my person at 25 date till I'm 30, get engaged, and be married in my early 30s. I am now 25.
Okay.
I'm single. So this is why I don't like to plan ahead.
Okay.
Because now my brain is like,
yeah.
no, wait, hold on. How do I? But I do really want partnership. So in the next 5 years, I'd love to be in a committed relationship, whatever that looks like. And I'd love to still be working.
Love that for you.
Yeah.
I love that for you. I want that for you. Also, really quick, not dead yet. Divorcee.
Divorcee?
Whatever. Divorced and happy.
I know.
I mean, everyone has a different experience, right? But I will say that it was on the happy side for me. Yeah.
It's like when you break up with someone, you're like, do I tell you I'm sorry or congratulations?
And there was only one person who said congratulations, and I said, thank you. I needed that. You were the only one who said congratulations. Thank you.
I mean, it's like the thing that people say, no happy marriage has ever ended.
Yeah.
If you're getting a divorce, it's because you need to.
100%.
And there's a lot of, I know we have to wrap up. Tell me if you need to shut up. But like, there's so much, I like the idea of like a marriage or a relationship was only successful if it lasted forever. And that's not true. Like if they helped you grow, if you had love and joy and you experienced things together, and now you're healthily being like, all right, now we're growing in different ways. Great. My brain though, like I can think that rationally, but my emotions are like, we have to be together forever.
I know.
Forever.
I know.
For the whole time.
I know. It's such a wild thing.
Well, I come from a family of a lot of divorce, and that's where my fear comes from. And my vows, I was like, I cannot wait to grow old with you, and it is happening. This is it.
It's you and
This
me,
is
baby.
it. Yeah.
I mean, marriage is, what is it? Is it a 50% now? The success rate, the divorce rate?
No idea.
I don't know, but I did read an article the other day that baby boomers, it's like it's a higher divorce rate of boomers than like married. So a lot of boomers have divorced because they got married so young too back in the day.
That's the other thing. When people get engaged after like a year.
Oh yeah. I know.
I got married after 2 months.
Ay Dios mío, Jaina.
But you know what? I will say 9 years was our chapter together, and what it was so necessary. Like I learned, I grew from it, and it was needed.
Wait, after 2 months of dating or 2 months of knowing each other?
2 months of knowing each other.
I need to know all the details.
I know.
Do you want to go to lunch? Not the Hollywood way.
I would love to go to lunch, not the Hollywood way. I'll tell you everything. Yes,
That's
but it's so great.
amazing.
It's so great. Honestly, I mean, look, everyone has ever since I've been married, I defined myself by my marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I equated my marriage to success, and I felt like such a failure when it ended. And then it took some therapy to realize, oh no, this was necessary. This was a chapter in my life that I am so grateful for. Thank you for those 9 years.
Yeah,
I grew with this person. I we accomplished so much together, and no regrets.
Yeah. And I think especially for women, we're so taught that like our place and our purpose is to be somebody's partner. And I think that's why, especially Latinas, like since you're little, they're like, con quien te vas a casar, tienes que aprender a cocinar, tienes que, and you're like, dude.
Yeah.
And so I think that in our community, it feels like a failure, and we're so conditioned for that. But in reality, if you're walking away from something that doesn't work anymore, that's success.
Yes.
You learned how to take care of each other and yourself. Yeah.
You are. I've learned so much about you and from you today.
Yeah,
I mean,
same.
I'm
I feel
serious.
like I've been the most discombobulated
No,
person. I'm like, do we need to start again?
You were simply amazing. Simply amazing.
I mean,
have
you
so
guys
many
are the
more questions.
best.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for coming on during a time where we're limited with our conversation regarding careers, and that's how I know you. But I'm glad to have learned a little more about you, and then continue to get to know you, because you're phenomenal.
You are.
And thank you for coming on our podcast. Yeah,
You can find me on Instagram on Isabella.Gomez, and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
You're
think
like,
no
there's
TikTok,
too
no
much. There's
no
too
Twitter, none of that.
I don't
Just-
have a TikTok.
Yeah.
I have a Twitter account, but now it's X,
Not
and
X,
I'm
yeah.
not verified anymore, and I don't use it, and it makes me nervous, and I think
know
I'm gonna
what?
delete it.
And both of you, I appreciate the fact that you don't pay for it.
No.
Because I'm like, listen, I don't want to
giving
be, I
that
don't want
guy
to be
money.
mean or anything, but like, come on. I know some of y'all out there that I'm like, we know you're paying the $8 a month. Is it $8 or something like
don't
that?
know.
It's like,
No,
But
I
no, thank
stopped.
you. I'm
Yeah.
okay.
It's just too much.
I also don't even really use Instagram. I used to post every 3 days religiously.
Interesting.
Like I took social media workshops, like the whole freaking night.
You're living in the
That's a
moment, girl.
thing? Oh,
You
wow.
are present.
I'm trying to be. It was a lot. Like a low amount of likes affected me.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
But it was because like there was, I don't know if for when the TikTok era came in, so many people were now having you sign in auditions with your following
Are
count.
you serious?
Put down your name, your agency, and how many followers you have. And so it
Gross.
was just so focused that way for a while. And then I was like, never mind.
oh, wow.
If you need me to have that many followers, then I don't think you should have a budget for marketing. I'm not, are you paying me for marketing?
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
I think you're just going to try to put that in my contract, and that's not my job.
Yeah. We got the from Kyle. Yes.
Not our job.
So true.
Yeah.
That's very
So
true.
follow Isabella on IG, and then
on
also
IG.
you've got some juicy plays and juicy things in the works.
So Gloria Calderon Kellett is putting up a snapshots. It's called Snapshots, and it's a bunch of little plays, for like some of her best work. They're all around 10 minutes, I want to say, and it's a bunch of really cool people. It's Todd Grinnell and India de Beaufort and myself and a bunch of other incredible artists. And we are putting that up September 1st through the 3rd. Check our Instagrams for more information, but all of the proceeds go to the entertainment fund.
Oh, nice.
We
Yeah,
will be
nice.
there.
We will be there.
We'll be there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh
my gosh, thank you so much, Isabella.
And that's a wrap on this episode. Tune in next week for
Yeah.
another.
Another episode of
After
After
We
We Wrap. Oh, that's the
That's
what's
the acronym.
acronym.
AWW.
The acronym.